Morning and welcome to another how-to video. Me, Dave Davis, CTO of DVS. The next one we're doing is the new dual lens people counting camera, the IDS intelligent camera. As you'll see, if I just get my mouse here, this is the new style, so it's a dual lens, PoE this time instead of the round single lens non-PoE. Black and white image, two different fixed lens varieties, 2mm and a 2.8mm. Easy to install, looks nice. There's the data sheet. We can send this to you. It's got all the things you need to know in there. Bear in mind the image is black and white. It's 4CF, 25 frames a second. The reason we make the image black and white is because it's faster to process the data that's in that image, and you strip out all the stuff you don't actually need. As you can see there, if I click on the live view, it's a black and white image. We've also made a how-to guide. If I just pull this up, there's a handy how-to guide about the installation, configuration of the dual lens people counter. If you scroll through, some very helpful information in there about the reporting, the lens size compared to the installation type, what comes in the box, how to install it, the width, height, etc. and some added information. If you scroll through, it's a very helpful document. That can be sent to you upon request. So I'll just close that down. And we'll go straight into the camera. As you can see there, we're looking directly at the camera itself now through the web browser. You can see I've got the rules set there, so that's my count area. This blue box is my count area, and you can see the blue line there is the actual count line with the direction arrow to say which way is in and which way is out. So if I reverse over, you'll see there, if I hover in this box, you'll see the H number there, which is the height filter. So I'll show you that in a minute, but it's showing me the height of the object in the scene now, because it's a dual lens. It creates this virtual 3D map, so it's able to tell height of objects. So what we'll do is we'll go in and calibrate this now, because we've been messing around with this. So if we go into the configuration side, first thing we'll do, we'll check, so you can see there it's the IDS version, so it's the intelligent one. We'll check the firmware version. This is the very latest one that we uploaded yesterday, so we just need to check it is on the latest one. It's got all the additional fixes that were requested in there. And then if we go to local, we can show then, if we enable the rules and the POS information, the rules shows that defined area of counting, and the POS information shows the height filter. We can disable both or either or. As we go into the video and audio, you'll see it is only a fixed lens, 4CF, but we can change the frame rate and the video quality and the bit rate should we need. Under image, there's very little to change because it is the fixed lens and it is a black and white image, so there is actually very little to change in there. So when the interface loads, you'll see there's not much to change in there. But what we can do is, under event, you can have the video tampering, alarm input, alarm output, and exception. Under storage, this has got built-in flash storage. There's no need for an external SD card to be fitted. It has its own flash storage, which saves the data on the camera directly, which makes it great for a standalone application. Again, if you do add this to an NVR, it takes the data straight from the camera, so you don't have to put the SD card in there. One thing to bear in mind is, if it's like the heat mapping, if you install this camera, please wait around an hour for the NVR. If you're pulling the data via the NVR, just wait about an hour for the data to be made available. So if we go into the people counting, which is why we're here, we click on rule. What you'll see here, we have to enable the people counting first. By default it's disabled. So you've got your rule, so you can see there you've got your calibration area, which is the green area, you've got your count area, which is the red area, which is fixed, and you've got your detection line. So what we can actually do is, if we select this line here, we can have a straight line, and we can put that anywhere within the red area. This count line has to be within the red area, but we can actually manipulate this and put it across a doorway in any direction that we need. If you want it sort of like the omni point on there, like I had it, you can see the original line. If I click save, it'll update this. But if I wanted it so it's bullet points on there, we can click the draw line and we can actually manipulate that within the red area to go around. Say it may be a curved entrance door, so having a straight line would go through the middle of the door and wouldn't give you the accuracy or the count needed, so we can actually make this curved line. So we can save that, and then we can change the direction by clicking that. We can put the arrows on there, click save. So the arrows represent the in direction, so we can change the in and out direction by simply changing that. You've got two other modes. You've got calibration auto and calibration manual. If you select manual, you have to put the exact height of the camera in, or if we select auto and select calibration, the camera will take about 20 seconds roughly to calibrate, so it says they're calibrated, and we can click save. So it's just calibrating itself there using the lens measurements from the floor to give you that installed height of 317 centimeters, which is about right as a high ceiling in this building. Then we've got an arm schedule, so you've got the, if you don't want the people counting to be active between certain times, you can actually turn that on and off. It's 24/7 by default. And the linkage method, so we've got notify surveillance center. So back to the rule. What we've got then is, once we just make sure we save this, because now it's calibrated, we'll just make this line back to where it needs to be. Swap the direction, click save. There we go, it's calibrated back to how it was, and we've got our height there. If we go to data uploading, there's a couple of things we can do within here. You've got real-time upload data on or off, so it's suggested to leave it off, but the data statistics cycle is 1 minute. You can leave it on, it uses more processing power. For the purpose of our installation, we don't need it to be real-time data, we're happy to wait a minute. What we can also do is, if we've got a third-party system where we want to send the HTTP data to, we can input the URL, so input the IP address, the URL and the port number, test that, and that will allow us to send data over HTTP to our third-party system. So there will be work needed to be done on that integration, but we can send up to 3 hosts, and we can send daily, weekly, monthly and annual report on there. So we can just save that. And then under advanced, we've got display rule info on stream, so we leave that ticked. Display height, so that's the, when I showed you when it was showing the H number, that's the display height is enabled, so we can turn that off if we chose. And we've got the enable height filter. If we turn that on and select the height, it won't count anyone under this set height. So if we're looking to discount children from a shop, for instance, we can enable the height filter, set the height required and save that, and it will discount anyone under that height. Now display height and the enable height filter need to be on. So if you're in an instance in a retail shop where the demographic is children don't spend money in that shop and you want to discount this, you get a more accurate figure of spending demographic, then obviously enable that. By default, most people turn it off because they just want to know pure footfall through there. So it's up to you how you do this. And then you've got your flow overfall is enter and leave. So you can set it to enter, leave, enter and leave, enter and pass by, or none. So that's the actual OSD text in the corner of the screen. So if we go back to live view, in the corner of the screen there, that's your OSD. You can choose to have it enter, enter and pass by, no OSD text. It's really up to you how you configure this. It's a dual lens there, the 2 lenses, as you can see, 1 lens, 2 lens. If we put it to mainstream, we see both lenses together, combined into one view. If we go back to configuration, so we can choose that. This camera is also intelligent enough to know pass by. So not only does it do enter and leave statistics, if somebody walks past the shop front, it classes that as a pass by, and you can actually look at results based on pass by. So you can see how many people have come into your shop. You may have only had 10 people enter, but 500 people walk by. That gives you quite an accurate number, quite a good number to work with, as to if you need to do anything more on your shop front to bring those people in. More of a retail thing, but again, the people counting is a retail device, but we do give that added function of the pass by. So we can refresh the counting statistics. I've just done it, so 6:37, and the daily reset time is set to midnight. you can change the reset time. So if your store is open until 3 o'clock in the morning, you can choose till 3 a.m. and the count data OSD count data will reset at that time, so it gives you your accurate trading hours data. Or you can select manual reset, and then you can clear the storage data. If you select clear storage data, that will delete anything that's saved and is flashed. It won't restore the OSD text, but it does clear anything from the flash data. So when you do a search on it, it will only be from anything past when you've cleared the data. So we'll just click save. That's about that's about it sort of for the configuration. It's quite simple to set up. If we go to the live view now, hopefully now we've done that, we should be able to get some count data. So you've got where we've reset it back to 0 and 0, where we've been messing with the camera, put it back to the things, we manually reset it. Now if I go out, and if I come in again, you can see it takes longer to process on the in because we've got this arc there. It needs to make sure you've gone across the line and come out of this count area. Again, we can't move this count area, so it's critical that you place the camera in the right place to start with, following the guide that I said earlier we can send you. As more people come through, that count data will go up and down. Then if we want to get it, we can get this data directly from the NVR via IMS 4200, or we can look at the application. So if it's a standalone camera, a lot of people do use these standalone, we can go into the application, select daily reports. So you've got daily, weekly, monthly or annual. You can select daily, select people entered, people exited, people passed by. So if we go to people entered, from today it's the 9th, and click bar chart. So it gives you from, because we haven't cleared the flash, so that's from today, from since we've been testing the camera. You can do the same for exited, and you can also do the same for people passing by. So the next step for us would be to get people entered and exited in the same results, so it makes it easier to compare in and out data. Currently they're separated, but you have got that option then of a table, as a bar chart, or as a line chart. So whichever way you want. And then we can export the data by clicking export, and that puts it into a CSV file, and from there you can do what you choose to do. Again, you could choose a weekly report from today, click counting, bar chart, but again, we cleared the data, so it's only what's available today. I hope that's been a benefit of you. It really is a very good device. There's a lot of these out there now. It's very intelligent. There'll be more functionality added to this as time goes by. It is part of the IDS, so the intelligent range, so the AI analytics setup. Hopefully it's give you a good insight as to what this camera can do. If you've got any questions, please contact your sales, DVS technical support, or myself. Hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to making more videos for you. Enjoy your day.